term and grab whatever they think about tomorrow. But long-term investors, they will want to come to a country that they believe that by doing the right thing and the law.
Okay, we are going to talk about investors today.
Yes.
You have ample time to say
I
all
have
those
come
things.
at the right time.
Yes,
Thank
you
you
are
very
coming at
much.
the right time. So, but you talked about adherence and enforcement. Okay, next. Thank you.
Good morning. It's good that if you're here yesterday, so that the technical session would be included in your talk. But what I've learned yesterday, first and foremost, for the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alaki, he mentioned and emphasized the 7-point agenda. So I'm really glad that I heard one again from his mouth. And also the governor of Nasarawa, he emphasized on making a reform in solid minerals, which is a private sector driven. So I really like that also. And then in the afternoon sessions, the technical sessions with which we have 4 groups, and I joined the group 3. But all the groups, they mentioned the issues and the challenges of particular issues, technical discussions, and then they also included on how to overcome and how to do it, those challenges and issues.
So whatever solutions we are bringing from this place is by all stakeholders.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
thank
then
you
I'm
very
looking
much.
forward for this technical sessions for this whole day event.
Okay, thank you very much. Next.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So for me, my take home yesterday was the aspect of the 7-point agenda of the minister, which is very robust, and once this gets to see the light of the day in terms of implementation, I believe it would go a very long way. Another thing I took note when Shogun Lawson was giving the experiences in Segilola. For me, I believe the aspect of transfer of knowledge or training is something that is very important, which almost every of the group had talked about capacity development. Because if we are talking about now, the fact that we need to fast track our investment or opportunities in the mining sector, how about in the future? So we need to also look in a longer term to see to it that we develop a workforce that's not just bringing experts, but with time we tend to localize it and then we build capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. It seems the minister got many converts yesterday. All right. Next.
Good morning.
Good morning. Ma'am.
Amongst the things I took away, I took a lot. But you said we should restrict it.
Yeah,
but,
so that.
But one of the key ones is the fact that this meeting is so timely and it brought the right people. So, like the right sectors to come and talk to bring about a realization. And at the end of the day, the DG kept on repeating a statement that I went with him about. He said, I don't want us to leave here tomorrow and we have the same thing that a journalist will have, And at first I agreed with him, but as I said, I kept thinking about it all through the night, and I said, no, I don't agree with DG. What we will do here, most likely, will be what a journalist will get when he goes on. But we have given it flesh. We've given it practicality. Like our Group 2, so it's okay for me to use Group 2's presentation yesterday. So we gave the topics of how to address challenge the environment, which any journalist can get. But we went ahead to talk about what exactly happened. So a journalist doesn't get that there's a gap in the ministry. So a journalist will tell you, oh, there's professional deficiency. But the journalist doesn't know that it's because there was a gap of 8 years where there was no employment, and so that created the gap. So it needed. So those are some of the things I took away.
Thank you very much.
And then I realized that, as I said again, this forum was really good because Group 3 mentioned that there were no standard labs. But the Ministry of Environment has standard labs. They have a list of certified labs that you can take your samples for analysis. So I think from here, people here will now know that, oh, okay, it's not there are no standard labs in Nigeria. I just didn't know about them and where they are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. But from your explanation, it seems like you are still on the same page with the DG. Because at the end of the day, you still said what journalists will not be able to get, which we have provided there. I think you're on the same page. Thank you very much. Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
First, my take home is that I'm part of the process. And then the second part is the fact that I was made to know that to be aware that there are some policies that need to be reviewed from Group 1 presentation, which is very important. If those policies are reviewed from the time when it was being created to now, I think it's a way forward. That's the second.
Thank you very much. Next.
Everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
I must say I'm happy to be part of this program. I'm not a mining sector, but I learned a lot yesterday. I happened to be in Group 4, where we discussed on human capital development and for adequate workforce. Based on it's very weak and need to be addressed through funding and collaboration with NGOs, civil society.
Okay.
Then another thing was that there is lack of workforce. In that aspect, we discussed about training graduates, undergraduates, and to prove for them to acquire the required skill in the mining sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be part of this gathering and to the DG. He promised to do something last month. That was during our own conference. And within 1 month, he made it possible. These are the people we want in the sector.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that.
From all indication, they say, see something. Say something. And now, the next one, do something. And that is what we are about to do now. From all indication again, I was yesterday in part of human development and capacity building in the mining sector. We are lag behind. Why? There's no advocacy about the mineral resources we have in Nigeria. And local people see everything as stones. The moment is doing something like sensitization, and then we are able to carry the young ones. Forget about all this child labor, so it's coming. The international community is coming us. I can see that. Because I remember that we have something like a young farmers club in those days. There's nothing stopping us from having young miners club too. We are talking of diversity. So we should diverse in that aspect. Train them young, catch them young. It's not saying that everybody should go to the pit, but let them know what they have. That stone might be stone, but there are different stones. Okay. And it should be part of our education.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
In all collaboration, synergy within the stakeholders, academia, civil society is of paramount importance. The government will always talk of no funding. So people are to volunteer to
Madam, we are coming to that discussion today. Let's just be patient. Yes.
The group, that there is hope. If from the presentation of Segun Lons yesterday, in spite of all the things we keep saying that we don't have competent people to write reports to attract funding, if they could surmount that and attract such funding to do what they are doing, then there is hope if we are very deliberate. Thank you.
Okay, we'll talk about funding today.
Good morning.
Yes.
Well, my take home from yesterday is well, I'm happy coming from the FCD enforcement side. We've been that the government is now being deliberate, intentional about its policies. The mining sector has been, how would I say, exploited for too long. It has caused it's caused the government hard earned revenue that it could, and then for me, I think the AIG Umba was able to bring it out, the nexus between insecurity, the mining sector and insecurity. If you look at it,
which we'll still discuss today.
Yes, wherever there are mining fields, there is going to be insecurity. So for us in the EFCC is an economic crime. It's also an opportunity for money laundering. So enforcement is key, and we're also stakeholders, so we're happy to be here to engage.
And you will listen to the stakeholders here, so that you know what they want and where to catch those who are offenders. Yes, next, sir.
Yes.
You have skipped somebody. Okay, you were not here yesterday. All right, thank you.
Good morning. From the anti-corruption perspective, I participated in Group 1 during the discussions. We talked about reforming policies and regulatory frameworks for sustainable mining development, and that the corruption component was included in our discourse, because the anti-corruption component measure block that in the system that GDP. Of course, it will also aid in attracting investors into the sector. Thank you.
Thank you. I was in Group 1. What I went home yesterday night. Hello? I just realized that mining industry has been left aside. But from yesterday, I just discovered that there could be a very good diversification from oil to mines, and that will help improving the economy of this country. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, I actually came at the verge of the closing of yesterday's session, but I could hear Prof. Alluding to the fact that government's expectation in the mining sector has been morphed to the trillion naira region. I would want to imagine, therefore, that the kind of attention that the industry is anticipating, therefore, is one that will reflect this kind of expectation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I was in Group 1 yesterday.
Group, okay.
The major group.
The major group.
So my take home was the fact that there was acknowledgement of parts of the existing legal and regulatory framework that needed some more tinkering with, so that there can be efficiency in the administration of the regulatory environment. And very particular was the issue between the state government and the federal government. There has to be some form of rigging of the Land Use Act, the Mining Act, so that there will be no confusion as to who is the head of administering the industry. And of course, some people brought issues about how their licenses have been revoked, blah, blah. And for me, I would rather say, without holding brief for the cadastral office, that if out of 1,000, 5,000 applications, you only have problems with less than 20 titles, mathematically, that is an A.
Insignificant.
That's an A. So we'll just encourage each other to give constructive feedback so that we can have more efficiency. So let me.
Thank you very much. Next.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My take home was the very last speech given by the DG of DIPS, which was the appeal. That stimulated me all night. How can we raise $300 million? I kept asking myself, did he say billion or million? That was the task he gave me all night. So that's my breakfast today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you will clarify the amount later.
Good morning, everyone. During our discussion yesterday, I was in Group 4. We realized that there is a gap in regards to students. Students don't really have the practical aspect of the mining industry. They're usually into the theoretical aspect. So that is very important to me for people to have enough knowledge and then to also create awareness for the general public as well as the miners themselves. Thank you.
That is in the curriculum. All right, thank you.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
I, for one, was very impressed with what I saw yesterday. A great indication of the seriousness that the government is giving the mining sector. And I think our generation, this period we are in the mining sector, it is our responsibility to finish what we've started. This is an industry that has been abandoned since the inception of this country, and I'm really proud of everybody who is participating to make it better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next.
Good morning, all. My take home yesterday was that for there to be a sustainable development in the mining industry in Nigeria, there should be a synergy or collaboration amongst all stakeholders and regulators in the mining sector. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. My take home from yesterday was in the policy and strategies, you should always, during the participation, should be from the bottom to top, not the top from the bottom. And there should be a proper education and sensitization within the stakeholders. Everybody should be able to know and understand what the policy is all about and what we aim to achieve. Doing that to make it easier for everyone to deal with it. And also that mining is not a difficult thing if you can work with the data, the available data, and to create wealth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. My take home yesterday, in fact, I'm very excited about the issue they raised about the Young Miners Club. I think it's very, very important because if we are talking about sustainability in mining sector, the information we have now, we should be able to transfer it to our younger generation. So, Young Miner Club, if implemented, I think it will go a long way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, I was actually very, very impressed as a Nigerian on the deliberate effort of the minister, the ministry, and all the people involved to harness the possibilities, the finale, the mining sector. The deliberate, intentioned, well-intentional, and determined efforts before when I heard of the mining sector, I just heard of, illegal, mining, people just going in, taking their stuff and going out. And yesterday I was presented, a formalized, I was actually very impressed yesterday that the ministry, as far as, establishing a corporation for the solid minerals, and the fact that the minister, said it wouldn't just be like, a pit to pot thing. That's going to be value addition, local value addition. I'm actually very impressed. Many years of oil exploitation in Nigeria, we still have no homegrown, technology about it. I want to, add that having started out like this, we worked on human capacity yesterday before. That's like they're saying, catch them young, technology, teaching of, this thing, mining, teaching from, young. And we have an immigration provision. I don't know if it was mentioned in our talk yesterday. I mentioned it. There is what we call understudy. For every expatriate who comes in, an expatriate is actually an expert. An expatriate is not just a white person. He's an expert, a skilled person. He's coming in with a skill, that is not just transfer of technology this time. We will learn, our youths will learn, and then adapt it. And we'll come out with a homegrown thing so that we can actually handle our mining sector.
Thank you very much, Mother.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
I'm happy to be here today, this morning again. My take home from yesterday's discussion was that summit, this meeting as an opportunity to promote a kind of synergy between Federal Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Solid Minerals Development. Because in the past, we have a lot of acts, EIA laws, mining laws, but there is no any laws, but there is no enough collaboration between Solid Minerals Ministry and Ministry of Environment. For example, there are a lot of mining companies that will come to Ministry of Environment that they want to register for EIA certificate. We will open a file for the registration. They will proceed to Ministry of Mines, obtain their license and proceeded to the site. They will not come back to complete the EIA process. And in the EIA approval, there are certain conditions that will be stated for them to protect the environment. So I see this as an ample opportunity for the two ministries to come together and attach a very strict condition to all this license giving out, so that when they comply with EIA law, I think our environment will be protected. We go to feed most of the time. I want to commend Segilola that said today, you can see them that they fully prepare for the business. But most of these mining companies, you see that when it comes to the issue of protecting the environment, they are not prepared. So this is an opportunity for the two ministries to come together. Let us see how we can work together and make sure we make them to comply to the regulations and laws that guide mining process.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Next. We're almost there.
Yeah. Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
My take home from yesterday's session that I was made to understand that our problem in the solid mineral sector is not about lack of policy, regulations, and laws, but those policies lack implementation strategies. I must commend NIPS for this initiation of coming up with a policy that will have end-to-end implementation strategies. I believe if we can have that, it will actually go a long way in addressing most of the challenges we are having in the sector.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we take... okay. Yes, those who joined while we have started.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
My take home and take along from yesterday's discussion is that we have a gap pre-pit and pit to port. So from all we are discussing here, I'm sure we'll be able to enrich the activities that exist that forms the gap that we have now. We can fill the gap. That will also answer the question raised by the DG that this figure mentioned, can we really achieve it? I believe we can.
I believe we can. That's right. So, okay, you joined us, sir. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
My take home yesterday was I was very thrilled with Group 3. I participated in Group 3, and one issue that I got so much entrenched and interested in is a practitioner in the mining sector actually shared the hotspot analysis. And I was very curious about what he was saying because he talked about the value chain. And the hotspot analysis which he shared is actually going to shed, in my opinion, the areas where a potential investor wants to come in, knowing fully well where the constraints are, where the risks are, and also where enabling the enablers will now come in to solve this problem. The environmental policies and all the other financial instruments which will come to support a potential investor was very manifest. So I was very thrilled with the hotspot analysis he shared yesterday. And I'm believing that that actually spins off into one of the plenaries we're likely to have today, which is actually on investment promotion.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
we'll come to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Madam, were you with us earlier? Okay, let's hear you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, I learned from yesterday that we have a lot of policies in different ministries and different departments. But one of the things that I learned is that possibly if we can have a one-stop shop for the mining activities so that once you're there, you can be led to the environment, to the cadastre, to wherever, so that at the end of the day, you're done with your mining, because most of the problems we are facing today is there is enough policies and laws, the Mining Act and the Minerals and Mining, yes. So we are not following it, both from the stakeholders, that's the miners, and even the regulators. There is a lot of space and hole between the value chain of mining sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, take, and then we'll come to the front. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, I actually took note of very important points, especially from the minister's speech, and not only from his speech, but also from the actions we are seeing today in some mining sites. I was in Group 1, actually. What he hit actually referred to, especially to reforming the policies, especially the adding value to the minerals locally before exportation, not just from site to port. The pit to port era, it's being erased. And by God's grace, they have actually done well by establishing a company and bringing in foreign investors that's producing at least to the tune of 4,000 metric tons per day. It's really a great one in Nasarawa State. And I really applaud the minister. I also applaud the DG for organizing such events. It really helps us to broaden our horizon in industry. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, His Excellency, the profession at various groups here present. My take home from the brainstorming session yesterday is this. We have traveled abroad and we have delivered lectures. And in the overseas, you see that the minister will be present to pick those things himself. And now, of course, I now get to now understand that the major problem we have is lack of political will to implement those policies. I have written several journal articles relating to this, but we now need government to have, of course, a strong will to, implement those wills, of course, policies, so that we can make progress. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to, okay, there's one person.
Good morning, sirs, and the audience here. My take home from yesterday is that there seems to be a very silent consensus which we need to document. Apart from appreciating NIPS, I think we have all agreed that NIPS, being the policy think tank of the nation, can actually drive these conversations to the appropriate policy-making authority in the country. Because we have observed, like my other colleagues and persons have observed, that the gaps that we're having is in implementing our policies. The industry is full of so many policies that, if well implemented, they are not supposed to be where we are. And also we agree that our state governments should use the vehicles that they have. If they observe any gaps in all those policy and regulatory frameworks, they have they are members of the National Council of States, members of the National Economic Council, and they also have a voluntary organization they call the Nigerian Governance Forum. They can use any of these forums to raise observations if there are gaps. And I think this is better than the kind of these regulations we're having now, where everybody wants to establish their own regulations, establish their own structures. It is not good for the big investment in the industry that we are expecting. And we also agree that NIPS can actually take this concern to the authorities for the state governors to please take action and use the vehicles that are bound, the provisions of the present frameworks, for them to address all the challenges and issues which they are yearning for in the solid mineral sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please sit down. Please sit down.
I'm okay. Thank you. Good morning. I think a lot has been said on what I took as yesterday's home take, but one area has not been mentioned. There are conflicts between the policies we have within federal, state, and local governments. And these policy conflicts, which have not been harmonized, have resulted to a problem. This problem relates to revenue generation, because most of these conflicts are centered around revenue generation of either federal, state, or local government. Each and every one of them will try to formulate either a policy, enact an edit, or whatever to start collecting money on, from miners. So what I feel that need an urgent attention is an issue of harmonizing these policies to come up with one system in terms of revenue collection at either both state or level, or come with at least certain regulation that will regulate how these taxes are being collected.
Is that an issue, or is your takeaway from yesterday's
It's a takeaway I took, and which has not been addressed. That is why I'm bringing up, because we have passed the level of where we are going next is not
Yes,
on
but we
policies.
wanted your takeaway from yesterday.
Yes, that is a particular takeaway that I took.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. One more hand there.
Good morning, everybody. My takeaway yesterday was in respect of what the Honorable Minister said yesterday concerning the fact that there must be value addition, not just from pit to port, like he said. And in addition to that, he also made a mention of community agreement that before miners are allowed into the site, there must be written agreement, otherwise mining licenses won't be issued. That was my takeaway. But however, I am worried over one fact, and that fact is concerning the environment. Is it just solid minerals, just like crude oil exploitation or exploration, devastate the environment? I've been to a site before. So I want to create the indulgence of the government as well. It's not just talking the talk anymore. It is time that we act.
We're going to act when
the environment should be looked into seriously so that we don't begin to have a replay of what we are having in the petroleum sector concerning oil spillage and the rest of them. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that's also part of the thematic that the press will be looking into when we break into session.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, my joy really as a take home from what happened yesterday is that it's good to see that almost all of us now we are having conversation regarding mining and the sector almost every now and then. I mean, you see conversations. I mean, good to see His Excellency the Minister coming to stuff like this. I told him yesterday, I said, oh, really? You are also involved in mining? Is a good thing. Yeah, so that, I mean, we can also be given the necessary recognition and support that we require for this sector to grow. I mean, that would be my take home, really. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more? Okay.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Discovery of oil and gas in the 60s inhibited exploration activities. We are now playing catch up. We need to speed up and close the gap, which I believe this summit intends to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. My takeaway from yesterday's discussion or brainstorming is natural. As part of my duty, as if this gathering was done in my favor. They are thinking, they have thoughts of what I could not as an individual think. So, in fact, you have eased, because I was having headache thinking way forward for mining industry, but it's because it's one of the units under my department. So I want to commend the organizers, the Bruit Costaud, and the NICS. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have just one more hand in front. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. I was part of Group 1 yesterday, and from our deals, miners generally are facing challenges across the entire country. From what we discussed in Group 1, it is very clear. There is a policy conflict. For instance, if you check through the instruments upon which mining is regulated in this country, the Mining Act of 2007, the mining regulation of 2011, and the other one, policies, you discover that everything they are supposed to do is already couched there. The only problem we're having is implementation. The miracle that is supposed to be set up across states. I can tell you in most states, like in my own state, it is not there. The Federal Ministry of Mines office, through the mines office there, will employ the services of maybe touts out there. And they will go and be doing collection of money, illegal collection and all that. It's not supposed to be so. Just implement the Mining Act we are having. If only the minister can, through his own ministry, start a very intentioned implementation, I bet you will not be, some of the things that came up yesterday will not repeat itself. And again, the issue of the Mining Act and all its other policy frameworks and that of the Land Use Act, there is a conflict, and it is bringing the government in each of these states to start kicking into regulating mining, which is not true. They are not supposed to be regulating mining activities. There are a lot of judgments on that. So this area should be looked at, implementation. State and federal should sit through that body that is supposed to be, monitoring activities of mining in the state. That should no more be a limitation where they will go, oh, stop work. They will arrest people and the site is shut down. Please, these things should be looked into. I think it was very clear from our Group 1 resolutions. We discovered all these things. Thank you.
Thank you. I thank all of you. And I must say that I'm also impressed with all the takeaways. I'm sure that the rapporteurs will do a very, excellent job when the day is done. Right now, you want us to start into the breakout sessions, and we had 4, topics yesterday, and we also have 4 topics today. I'll just run out again. Group 1, strategies for protecting and securing the mining sites and personnel in Nigeria. Group 1, again, if you're interested in Group 1, can we? Yes, okay. Group 2, attracting large-scale investment and financing opportunities to the mining sector. Group 3, community engagement and social responsibility in mining operations. And Group 4, domestic and international market demand for minerals and opportunities for value addition. So like we did yesterday, if you're interested in Group 1, you just indicate by raising up your hand, and then so on and so forth. So for those who are interested in Group 1, strategies for protecting and securing the mining sites and personnel in Nigeria.
Okay, 5, 6.
How many? Group 1, 7. Group 2, sorry? Group 1, 8. Group 2, attracting large-scale investment and financing opportunities to the sector. $14, $15 for Group 2. And Group 3, community engagement and social responsibility, community engagement. Are you raising your hand? You're in Group 1. Group 1, so 1 is 9 now. Okay. 12. And last group is on domestic and international market demands. Domestic and international market demands. Okay. 6. This is 27. 43 plus 9. 43 plus 9. So we have 42. Someone just walked in. So like we did yesterday as well, the group with the largest number, that's
Are there people that have not picked any group? Yeah, definitely there are people that have not picked groups. So we won't want anybody to sit on the fence. We want everybody to have a group, please. What we have now, okay, what group do you want to belong, please? No. Sorry? No, 2. Please add a group. Which group do you want to belong? 3 plus 1. I'm seeing some hands here. Yes, which group do you want to belong, sir? 2 and 4. Like my people will say, they'll say, I. So, since 4 has only 6 people, you join them, sir. 4 has only 6. So, I know there are still people that have, because I know the number of us in this room, and I know the number that we have here. Is there any other person that has not picked a group? Who is it? Okay, sir, which groups? 3. Group 1. Okay. Okay, group 2. Okay, group 4. There's another person in group 4. We are getting there gradually. Okay, I guess even if you have not picked a group, just join one group so that we all contribute.
Like we did yesterday, the highest group is group 3. Sorry? Not today. For today. Yes, for today, group 3 has the highest number. So group 3 remains here. Sorry. It's 13. Group, okay, 15, yes, that's true. 16, group 3, 16. Right. From 2 to 4. This will be 9 now. Group 2. Group 2 is 15. It's still the highest. So please, let's fall into different groups. Group 2. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4 behind. Again, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have 1 hour to deliver. 1 hour. Please, let's settle down quickly. We have 1 hour. And I believe that what happened yesterday will not happen today. We are going to have each group's presentation on the screen. Okay? Please, rapporteurs, make sure that this is adhered to. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, it's better in that place so that you have some space. One hour and your time starts now. Which group you are supposed to be for? No, we said to go to because 2 is too loaded. Okay, you greet them and go. Please greet them and go and meet group 4.